Hello, I'm Heather,
And I'm Ryan,
and this is the Politics Free Podcast,
where you can come for a short time each week to get away from the madness of the world.
while we carry on as though nothing important or noteworthy is happening,
So join us for some conversation,
and some silliness.
while we attempt to put you in a better mood by the end of the episode than you're in right now.
Welcome to our bubble.
Welcome to our bubble.
Ryan,
Yes.
if they ever make a movie about your life, what genre do you want it to be, and who do you want playing you in the movie?
Okay. I know who I want playing me because I look like him already.
Okay.
And his name slips my mind at the moment. I feel like an asshole because I really like him. Hold on. Norman Reedus.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, the dude from Walking Dead. Okay.
Yes. So like when I had longer hair and like the scraggly beard, like I totally looked like him. And it would be badass to have him play me. And if he's going to play me, then it has to be an action movie.
Okay. Well, it's going to be a slapstick action movie of him getting hurt a lot.
Yes. Perfect.
That's the movie. So a comedy then.
Yes.
Genre-wise.
Action comedy.
All right.
Well, it'll probably be more of a comedy because, I mean, there's not a whole lot of action in my life.
You guys are literally eye doppelgangers.
Yes.
You're eye doppelgangers. If I cover the bottom half of his face, it's like I'm looking at your eyes. Amazing. All right. For me, I would want it to be a comedy as well. And I would want Lauren Ash to play me.
I don't know who that is.
She's in Superstore,
Okay.
the TV show. And she's in the podcast True Crime and Cocktails that I instructed you to listen to.
Yes.
I mean, suggested for you as a good podcast.
You just gave them a free plug. Good job.
They totally need it because our podcast is way more popular than theirs.
Is it?
No, not even a little.
I was
not
like,
even close. They need us not at all.
Yes, they don't.
They don't need us. But, you know, if this podcast ever becomes popular, there it is. True Crime and Cocktails. Check them out.
Hell yeah. But wait. Okay, so rewind here. Because I've totally gone blank on this whole conversation. Oh,
Who's
Superstore.
playing me in my movie?
Superstore.
Yeah,
Who is she?
Superstore.
Who is she in Superstore?
She plays the redhead. She's a redhead that has her hair always back in the ponytail. She was pregnant at one point. I forget the character's name.
Laura Ash? Is that what you said?
Lauren Ash. Superstore
Lauren Ash.
cast. Dinah.
Oh yeah! Duh. She is hilarious.
She is hilarious. And we look similar. She's sort of prettier than me, and has she's much more well endowed chest-wise, which is two reasons that I want her playing me.
Interesting.
Also, she's funny, and I'm funny, which sounds conceited to say, but I do get laughs a lot when I talk to people. So this has led me to believe, God damn it. This has led me to believe that I'm hilarious. All right.
You're pretty funny.
Although not always.
You always
not
make
always.
me
Some
laugh.
people don't laugh at my jokes. I know. That's why I think I'm so funny. You feed my ego every time you laugh at something I say.
I'm here to support you. I try to bring you up.
I know you do. Okay, here's a more deep philosophical question, maybe.
Uh-huh.
When was the last time you completely lost yourself in something? To me, that means you were really passionate about it and you were super dedicated to it. That's what it means to me.
Oh, gotcha.
Or I guess it could mean anything. It could mean you lost yourself in how good a song was or how beautiful the view was that one time.
Yeah.
It could mean any of those things.
I don't know. I don't think that I have had a moment like that. I know I lose track of time when I'm doing stuff.
Yeah.
Especially at work. I have to have people let me know when it's break or lunchtime because I will just be so concentrated on what I'm doing. I just don't even keep track of time. And I've never thought to put an alarm on my phone, which is weird.
It is weird. Well, I mean, what you do is kind of loud. The work, isn't it?
Yeah,
Would you hear
it
an
gets
alarm?
loud, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess the first answer I thought of to this question for me was back in the day as a teenager when I got super into playing guitar and writing songs and making those little demo tapes. Like, I would wake up in the morning, like if it was a weekend, if I had a song idea in my head, I would just sit down and plug it all out till it was completely done, completed recording.
Wow.
And sometimes it'd be like breakfast would go by, lunch would go by, dinner would go by. And I was just like, I want to get this. Like, I just didn't even notice because I really wanted to just have that finished product.
Yeah.
So that was good stuff. I do think of song ideas all the time, and I write down lyrics when I think of them, but I haven't had time to like sit down and like actually churn out a song.
Do you still have a guitar?
In a while. I do. I still have my same guitar, the one that I bought cleaning one spring break or something. I earned enough money and I went and bought a secondhand guitar.
Nice.
Yeah. And I still have that. I'm very proud of that guitar because I earned it myself and mom and dad didn't buy it for me. Real quick before we go on, there is a little community online full of podcasters like us who are just starting out and, trying to make it with their podcasts. And one of those podcasts reached out to us because they liked our podcast and we listened to their podcast. And I'm not going to lie, they made me laugh numerous times. So I want to give them a shout out because they were kind enough also to give us a shout out. And they are called Space Cloud, spelled exactly the way it sounds. Space Cloud. 2 words, I think.
CLOWD. Cloud. Just kidding. Do not listen to me.
Don't search that spelling of Space Cloud. That's not it.
You said it spelled how it sounded.
I will link to it in the show notes of this episode of ours. If you want to go check them out, I hope that you guys do because they're pretty funny, just like us. We went over this already. We're hilarious. Let's move on.
Moving on.
What 3 things would someone learn about you if they spent a lot of time with you?
I mean, that's such a weird question because there's a lot about me. I mean,
let me rephrase the question.
Okay.
What are 3 things that someone would learn about you if they spent a lot of time with you? Well, not like the only 3 things, but just 3 things.
Okay, well, people are always surprised that we're originally from South Africa.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we've been here a long time.
Yeah.
People are always surprised at how old I am.
How old do they think you are?
They usually think I'm like late 20s, early 30s.
Oh, you lucky bastard.
Yeah, I know.
I actually don't know how old. Recently, I've been looking at my face in the mirror going, I'm looking my age these days to me.
I don't think so. With the pixelation on this camera, you look like you're in your 30s.
Really?
Yeah.
Aw.
I wouldn't guess that you were 40. Heather,
39 then?
Do you have like early to mid 30s? Do you have graying hair? Is your hair graying?
It is, but I hide it with dye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, like how much are you graying? Do you have to
Not
dye
that
it?
much. To be totally honest, it's probably only noticeable to me. Like Mike said he didn't notice, but he's also my husband. So he might just say that.
And he's also got a full head of gray hair.
He does, doesn't he? But even my hairdresser, one of the times I went to her, like not the last time, maybe the time before, was kind of like, it's not really that noticeable. So if a hairdresser tells me it's not that noticeable, and because why would she say that if I'm there to pay for a hair dye job?
Right.
Why would she say that to not get that business? So I'm going to trust that was an honest thing. But I was there to get my hair dyed, so I got it dyed anyway.
Well, I have like the flecks like in the side of my head, which is only really noticeable like when my hair is shorter. But like when my hair is longer, you don't even see it. But like in my beard, I have just like that whole streak like right in the front of gray. That's very noticeable.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's kind of cool looking, in my opinion, when there's a beard that has like one tuft of some other color in it.
Yeah.
Gray or any other color.
And I guess the other thing that surprises people about me is the size of my feet, because I wear big old clown shoes.
Okay. Good one. I don't know that anyone's ever surprised to learn anything about me. Trying to think of a time when someone was okay. Well, it's not entirely applicable. It depends on the person, but like when there's somebody that knows you and knows me independently, they're generally very surprised to find out that we're siblings.
Really?
I had that numerous times, like when I moved down to LA after you'd been there for a while, and then I'd be talking to somebody and I'd be like, oh no, well, Ryan's my brother. And they would be like, what? No way. No. Like they'd be shocked.
Because I was such a piece of shit?
I don't know. I don't know. We don't really look alike, for one thing. I don't think we look anything alike.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I feel like I look more like mom, or like
you do,
like mom's side of the family. And I think you look more like dad's side of the family.
Yeah.
However, when I had a mustache and longisher hair, I found a picture of dad with a mustache and longerish hair, and I took a side-by-side photo, and it's like a dead ringer. Like, I look like dad. Like, there's no freaking question. I don't know if you ever saw it. I don't know if you were still on Facebook when I posted that.
I did see it. I think you texted it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. That's true.
And I even have, like, the butt chin.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess ultimately, I don't really think I look too much like either mom or dad, but more like dad if you're going to pick one. You know what?
What?
What if one day you find out I was switched at birth? What are you going to do then, Mr. Insensitive?
Well, I mean, it's been 37 years, so I'm going to be like, well, you're my sister.
Are you going to make a crude and inappropriate adoption joke?
Probably.
Are you?
Yeah, I would. I still would. I'd be like, well, now it's confirmed. You're adopted.
Always count on the little brother to be a...
Okay, well, let's find... Okay, just out of curiosity. So let us say, in this scenario, if you will, that you were switched at birth. Would you want to find your, like, biological family?
No, here's the deal. If I was somehow miraculously switched at birth, which I highly doubt,
right?
I'm pretty much 100% sure that did not happen. I just wouldn't want to ever find out. I wouldn't want to ever know.
Yeah.
I'm happy not knowing or finding that out ever. I'm cool.
So then the flip side of that is that I would have a biological, probably sister out there somewhere if you were switched at birth.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, there would have to have been a baby that got switched with me, which would have been the correct baby.
And I would have zero interest in finding that person.
Wow. Are we insensitive?
I don't think so.
Are we? I love my life and I love my family. I don't want to find out it's not really my family. Right. You know what I mean? Like, that seems very upsetting to me.
Well, I think that, like, if like that person approached us and was like, how would you take that? How would, like, if that person approached us or approached you and was like, hey, just FYI, I'm actually supposed to be part of this family. Like, if they approached you about it.
Well, here's what would happen, because this is how it happens in this day and age. Somebody would call me up and want a DNA sample. And I'd say no to that. I'd say no. You may not have my DNA sample. And then we'd never know. Case closed. For me.
But what if there was, like, irrefutable proof that they were switched with you? And they were like, bam, like, just FYI.
The only irrefutable proof to my mind is DNA.
Shut your mouth.
And I would not give a DNA sample. I've already, you know what this reminds me of? I read this book a while ago. It's called The Lost Family, and it's by a journalist. I believe she's a journalist. Libby Copeland is her name. Have I talked about this book on the podcast before?
If you did, I don't remember.
Okay. the book is all about the DNA databases, essentially, right?
Okay.
And she kind of tells the other side of the story, because you always see this. They're like, yeah, they caught this serial killer, and yeah, they've reunited this separated family.
Yeah.
But there's this whole other point of view regarding the DNA databases. One is a privacy issue, and one is the issue of stories that did not have a happy ending, like families and lives being ripped apart and destroyed over DNA results, right? There was one story in there that like really stuck in my mind. And it's not entirely the same scenario that we're talking about, but I guess just as a kind of illustrative example, a man had found a guy he thought was his father. Like, he didn't have DNA evidence, but he had some sort of paper trail type evidence, that family tree, genealogy figuring out type evidence that made him pretty sure this guy was his dad.
Yeah.
And he approached the guy and told the guy and showed the guy. And the guy was not super enthusiastic about it, but he'd meet him once a year and play golf with him.
Yeah.
He met him once a year, played golf with him for 12 years. The guy finally was able to get a DNA sample and found out that, in fact, this man was not his biological father.
Oh, interesting.
So he told him that. He said, we actually have the full conclusive evidence. You're not my father. And the guy was so relieved, because he was like, for 12 years, I have gone around with a weight on my shoulders that I abandoned a child.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh my God, that's not something like I never would have even thought of as a possibility. Because how many guys out there have kids they don't know about? You know, they don't always get to find out about it.
Yeah.
And if you're a responsible guy and you find out you abandoned unwittingly a baby since birth, like, that can't be a good feeling.
Right.
You know, and there are probably guys that wouldn't feel guilty about that. But this guy obviously did. It was like weighing on him really heavily.
Well, you know, it's funny because, like, I've thought about that, believe it or not, that, like, if there were, like, somewhere out there, like, I had another kid that was, like, you know, not with Rebecca, and, like, that person approached me, like, I'll be honest, I was a little worried at one point that I had a kid.
Okay.
And Rebecca actually looked this girl up, because it was a girl that I had, like, been with before Rebecca, but she looked her up to see if she had a kid that was, like, of the age that they would be at if, you know, I was the father, and she didn't. So I was relieved to know that. But, like, I thought about it, it was like, damn, like I would feel bad, but I don't think I would feel bad in the sense that I abandoned this person. Like, it was just that, you know, at some point I lost contact with this girl. I mean, I never, like, talked to her again, like, didn't have any contact information. So she would have had no way of getting in contact with me, you know, if that was the case. But I would make the effort to get to know the kid, like, if that was what they wanted, you know? Yeah,
sure. I guess, I mean, I'm never going to be in that scenario. I think it's almost impossible for a woman to have a child she doesn't know about. With like, there was one exception. I don't know if this is a fictional story I'm talking about right now, or if this was in that book I mentioned, but like one where a baby was born and immediately taken away from the mom, and she was told that it died, but it hadn't. Right. So in that case, you would know that you had the baby, but you would be going on your life on the false assumption that the child had died when it hadn't. But again, I think that might have been from a fiction book I read, but it's not like something like that could never actually happen in real life.
Yeah, I was going to say that's in the realm of possibility, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, that is an entirely interesting topic, and I really recommend that book, The Last Family, Libby Copeland, if you're at all interested in that topic. So what were we were talking about 3 things someone would learn about me. Okay, so I had said 1.
Yes.
That people were surprised to find that we're brother and sister.
Yeah.
2, I mean, they're going to find out I'm heavily and passionately opinionated about everything.
Right.
And I talk a lot.
Can't even get you to shut up sometimes. Just kidding. I love you. Why are you looking at me like that? Holy shit.
I just wanted to prove that I can go without talking. That's all I was doing.
God, you were making me fucking nervous. I was like, damn, did I actually piss her off with that?
No. Okay, well, bro.
Uh-huh.
It is now time to end with our customary advice. I have written down a whole list of things.
Wow.
Yes. Okay, good. Here's a good one. This is just a little... Is it advice as much as you might learn something new? But if you're ever on social media and you're reading a bunch of comments that are connected to a certain post, and the comments don't make any sense at all, like they do not match the thing that was posted.
Yeah.
That is probably because somebody went in later and edited their original post to say something other than what it said to begin with.
Oh, gotcha.
Because little trolls will do that.
Yes.
So don't be alarmed. And just remember that
yes,
it's trolls. Remember that it's trolls.
Duly noted.
Yeah, it was smooth.